switch it and never land. That ball will never land. I got a ready plan. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. Yo, we came to win. Out the blocks like a world-class runner. Every day working spring, fall, winter, summer. Blowing up like we supposed to. Got those cause we go. Shows and promotion. And now people know us. But the fame and fortune might pass. What's more important to me is that I'm having a blast. On my own destiny in the palm of my hands. Got a pen, paper, headphones, and in this life, I let the music take.
Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to part two. Part two of Coming to Dean's presentation that was put together by Imam Al-Amin. Now, that was 5 original members that you just heard from that particular movement in that era. Imam Al-Amin will be the last speaker of this presentation. But this is just the second half, okay? Now, they gave you a brief history of exactly what transpired as far as the individuals of that movement were actually involved in. And now, the benefit of it has yet to be revealed. So, welcome back to part two. I did say it was only going to be 2 parts to this presentation, but apparently it's going to extend beyond that. It may be 4 at the end, if I'm not mistaken. It may be 4. So it's only half an hour clips that are being presented. It's epic, as I said before, but I didn't put the excitement I had actually seen when I viewed it myself, because I was actually filming it in the real time, in the moment, and I seen what it truly meant in that moment, and it was that I grabbed the energy that I moved from to bring it to you. So let's get right back into it. I don't want to hold you up any longer. This is Abdul Hakim Adel for The Objective Opinion. Assalamu alaikum, pay 2.
In essence, man, I'm based from the Riverside County. Immigrants.
Be there to see you, inshallah.
والصلاة والسلام على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. Alhamdulillah. My thanks, appreciation for the man for having this program, and all of you that attending, and nice words, advice, knowledge that we've heard from the brothers. So that's very good. So I'm going to be inviting speakers, but listen to all that has been said before. I don't need to repeat, and I'm trying not to repeat, so I will not try to use any of my notes. Those of you all that know me, I always come with a lot of notes. I'm gonna spare y'all, and the 25-minute remark, that helps me also. Thank you. MashaAllah. Some of the names I heard today, not the Muslims, those are the names, but it took me back to a lot of relationships. I was not thinking of any of those names coming. But the name of this program, the title of it, the subject matter, Reviving the Prophetic Mission. We've heard a lot of good advice and knowledge about our personal deen, obligation that we should strive for, etc. Alhamdulillah for that. You cannot have a collective without individuals. And the collective is going to largely be the quality, effectiveness of the collective has a lot to do with the individuals. But my focus is on the prophetic mission. So we're not focusing on the individual per se. And the prophetic mission that we're talking about, I'd like to draw your attention to Noah alayhi salam, the first of Allah's messengers, who had a mother and a father. He was born a human being. No matter how long he lived, the thing is, he was a human being before he was born. This is so important that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said this in the first 5 ayahs. اقرأ باسم ربك الذي خلق خلق الإنسان من علق خلق الإنسان من علق. Where's علق? Not talking about Adam and Eve. Not talking about Adam and Eve. Even Isa bin Maryam is included in this. Min Allah. Before we were born, of all the things, Allah took us back to that. Beginning of the end of prophethood and messengership. Alhamdulillah. And in those 5 ayats, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did not even mention the word Allah, which was known to that the Prophet's father was named Abdullah. Yeah, Allah. All the things that come a part of the deen to do or not to do. Jannah, Jahannam, Zina, Zakat, Salat, all of those things. None of them were mentioned on that mountaintop. And as far as we know, I would say Muhammad, but now he's got the 5 ayahs, I have to say Prophet Muhammad. So like son. As far as we know, no human being of the planet at that time had those ayahs and knew what had happened to this nice guy that everyone loved and respect and listened to. No one knew. No human being on the face of the planet, and like I mentioned earlier. The pen mentioned in the ayahs, the Prophet could not even love. But before that, let's go back to what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Noah alayhi salam look and reflect on some of his family members. And he's the first messenger. Let's fast forward to Ibrahim alayhi salam and things that we know about his life, the things his family went. Musa alayhi salam, Isa. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will tell Muhammad, شرع لكم من الدين ما وصى به نوح وما أوحينا إليه وما وصى به موسى إبراهيم وموسى. And أقيموا الدين. This Allah said, شرع لكم من الدين. Allah's prophets and messengers. The command, Aqimul Deen, is a command to establish Allah's deen. Collectively in this life, with all the personal things we have to do. As the Ummah, that's one of the what? The mission, the goal of the Ummah, and Allah has commanded it. So now you think, Ya Allah. Ibrahim alayhi salam, what did he go through? The situation with his wife. I'm going to say a few things about their lives before Revelation begins. Look at us. Those of us who embraced Islam, so as that, not necessarily our children or grandchildren. consider and reflect on the life that we lived before we embraced the Deen. What life did Noah ﷺ lived before his prophethood? What life did Ibrahim ﷺ live before his prophethood? And we go on with Musa and Isa. And more, our focus is the life that Muhammad ibn Abdullah lived before his prophethood. And as nice as he was, as successful as he was, nice business, nice wife, nice family, all of that wasn't enough. Wasn't enough. So we had to do what? Meditate. Leave the people periodically, even his family. Because what? Something is missing. Something's missing. And brothers and sisters who accepted the Deen, especially that, what did you go through before you embraced this Deen? What did you went through? I'm speaking for myself, like some of the brothers said. Growing up in the church, good things, but something missing. And so the Prophet said, what? He's searching for something. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent it to him. When we done the bawling, we found you astray. And we got it. So all those good qualities and deeds that Muhammad ibn Abdullah had, he wasn't properly guided. Alhamdulillah for the good deeds. That's Allah got it. And then he became what? With that, the prophet of Allah. Had he not established the Deen? And those first 13 years before Hijrah, and they've done all of those things that they did, there was no masjid. They've done all of those things without a masjid. Look at all the stuff that we had. Without a masjid. They didn't have a masjid. Dar al-Arqam was not the masjid, so let's not go into all of that. All of that they've done without a masjid. Later on, the hadith will come. Who builds a masjid? For Allah. Allah builds him a house in Jannah. We all hear this. But this hadith I'm talking about, there's another part to it that we don't hear at all. Even if the masjid is as small as a sparrow's nest or smaller, Ya Allah. Ya Allah. And look at all that they've done without a masjid. What excuse? So let me mention something like this because the brothers mentioned. Alhamdulillah, I'm from Baltimore, raised in Baltimore. Spent a lot of time through the civil rights movement and all that stuff in D.C. Had situations with governments. I wasn't Muslim, I didn't even think about being a Muslim. And some brothers used to come down. And they would spend the night, because they knew the leader of the organization I was living with. Since I was always gone, I always saw them a few minutes of the day or like that. And these brothers was Yahya Abdul Karim, Mutmar, Muhammad Ahmed, Haj Muhammad. I see them talking to them. Years later, through all this civil rights and demonstration and all the stuff the brothers mentioned and whatnot, the riots and what have you, none of these were solutions. So to make this long story short, through brothers And after I have been with all the sign, I embrace the deed. I knew the Islamic Center. I've been going to the Islamic Center when I was not a Muslim. I didn't think about being a Muslim, but I had relationships and duties during that time, and I won't get into those things. Went to Islamic Center and got a Quran. I think the first 2 days I read it from cover to cover, and I keep saying prayer and whatnot. I've been praying ever since I was a young kid, so every so often I'm kneeling down by my bed saying Alpha. And I won't finish the rest because I still know. And sometimes in the evening. But we had permission from Johns Hopkins University. And Muslims gathered in different parts of the world. Going there. Then I found out, we got a real survivor. So I went back to the Islamic Center. I mean, both with the pictures in it, so I know how to make it up. So I'm standing making some. But it got awkward, so I went back another time. A few days later, got another book, put it on a chair, so I could see what I was in looking. Then when I got to the session, I got to reach up and get the book off the chair. I went back a third time and got another, got the same book 3 times. That's how I taught myself Salah. And the wudu was there. Now, going to Salah Center for Juma. It was too much out of it. Oh, but the brothers. So for Juma, I was the only one. Went to 52 Hercules Place for Juma. Sometimes every Friday. For Juma. Later on, I started doing other things, really whatnot, because that's how it started. And I started the Tawheed classes and whatnot, Mubadi. Sometimes what? Go to New York for a class. For a class. Some of us cannot go across town nowadays. Just look, okay. We're talking about the prophetic mission. Look at all the traveling pastors. Like Muhammad ibn Jabal, he's going to Yemen. I told them he's going to Medina. Look at what they're doing. Look at what they're doing. So this prophetic mission, brothers, is on us. There is no more prophet, no more messenger. We got it. It has become our duty and our responsibility because we bear witness that this is what we are going to do. That's what your Shahada said. That's what your Shahada said. And then we claim following the Sunnah. Look at all these things the Prophet had to do with the Sunnah. And while they're going through all of this, their families and whatnot, they're surviving, no matter how they survive. They got it done. It's now our time. Now, what excuses are we going to come up with? What excuses are we going to come up with now? Oh, our dawah. Look at all the dawah the Prophet and Muslims doing in the Meccan period, under all of that persecution and whatnot. Now, but dawah. Now I got a phone. I got a computer. I don't have to go out doing the dawah. I got Verizon. I got HP. Now I got artificial intelligence. I really like it. And plus the game is coming on. That's what we do. Okay. I'm not criticizing that. And that's our jihad. I'm using my fingers. I'm using my eyes. And that's our jihad. Peace be with Allah, with our self and our wealth. What? The deen. Oh, I got a phone, I got Verizon. I got a Dell computer and all that. The deen is for human beings. The deen is not for machines. I'm getting a new phone, inshallah, because I need one. But you can understand what they are and what they are not. And they cannot and undermine, they should not, and I should not allow them to undermine my jihad, my struggle in and for this deen with the Muslim brothers and sisters. So, what? So what? Allah has made it easy for us to do that. Easier than they. We're not under that kind of type of oppression of one that, at least not yet. Lord knows the future will bring. But brothers, the prophetic mission and coming to deen, that's not coming from the prophets of Salam or the angels. This is coming from Allah. One of the brothers mentioned ayah in the Quran. No, ما خلقت الجن إلا ليعبدون. I have not created the jinn and mankind except for worship. What is worship? But I've been using the word worship ever since I was in elementary school. Or does it mean the same thing? Yeah, Allah. Ibadah is more. But Allah what? Inform us of the ibadah. Look that up. But then go to the Surah Al-Baqarah, the brother mentioned. يا أيها الناس اعبدوا ربكم الذي خلقكم والذين من قبلكم. Why? لعلكم تتقون. Uqbudu is not information. No, that uqbudu is a command. The other information, well, you know, I now know why. Yo, but that's not good enough. Allah commands this. And what is the root of this? To obey Allah in what He's commanded, obey Allah in what He's prohibited, what pleases Allah, and to avoid doing what displeases Allah. Nowadays, according to Quran and Sunnah, that's the ibadah. Worship, when I was in the church, that's not what worship meant. So I don't like to use the W word. Now Allah has commanded this on us. So this is how we're supposed to do what? This is supposed to be our mission, our goal. We cannot go out and just do this. The Bible says go out and just do all of this. But he got to it. He started working. So what can we do? We can study it. We can understand it. We can teach it. Because you cannot get it done if you don't do those. At least we can do that. And then we can invite others to join, to support. What's stopping us from doing that? The kuffar is not stopping us. Shaitan is not stopping us. What's in our hearts and souls, or not in our hearts and souls, that's preventing us from trying to do this? What? Now, no matter what you say, Allah knows. But we don't have a place and whatnot. The Prophet didn't have a place. He used his home until he could use the kingdom. So what? These excuses. These excuses. So, brothers and sisters, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has chosen us. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, you know, I don't mean in an arrogant type way, whatnot, has chosen us. Us has chosen. And opened our hearts, our souls to His own. Because what? He's guiding us. And we every day we're saying, what does that mean in everyday life? What does that mean when Allah tells you to establish His deen? What does that mean to make the deen prevail over all? What does that mean? You just say, what does it mean? Now, what am I supposed to be doing within my ability? And hopefully, always trying to increase the ability. Alhamdulillah. And just words. Someone used the word today, power. It's not you to all the power, you get the power, when you get the power. We ain't gonna know when you get the power, how you gonna get the power. You ask them when, what you gonna do to get the power? What are you gonna do to get the power? What did the Prophet man do? But the Khulafa Rashidin, Abu Bakr, Ali, young person, what do they do? And not only that, they promised Jannah. That's the power. That's the power. And some of us may not thinking or visualizing Muslims being in power. Kafirs do. That's why they came over here and established their deen from sea to shining sea and enslaved you and me. And then try and convince us that we're free. Yeah. Well, but don't get angry with them. That's what they were supposed to do. Why get angry with Shaitan when you got Shaitanic things? What are you expecting to do? So, okay, look whom did it for that day. But now they done it that way, we're going to do it our way. But it got to be done. That's our duty, that's our responsibility. So you ask them, each one of them, you ask your wife, you ask your children, you ask each other, what is your vision? What is your vision? What is your vision for the deen of Allah in this land? And what are you doing to make that vision come true? The answer is in the deen. I'm already told you that answer. So you don't have to figure that out.
Assalamu alaikum. As promised, the Imam is making some interesting pointers at this point. So, unfortunately, though, we are limited with time, so we're going to conclude part 2, leading into part 3, with the Imam concluding his presentation to the community about how they should move forward under Islam coming to deen. The number one factor to our survival in our society is understanding the essence of Al-Islam, what the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ gave us, and how we should present it to the listening and viewing communities. There will be a newsletter that covers majority, if not all, of the issues that we are presenting here today, superseding or preceding the release of the actual videos. I haven't decided at this present time. So now we're on we were headed into part 3. This is the end of part 2. We're going into part 3. This is Abdul Hakim Adel for the Objective Opinion, one to grow in. Assalamu alaikum.
Take your bitch, watch me switch it and never land. That ball will never land. I got a ready plan. There's no ifs, ands, or buts, yo, we came to win. Out the blocks like a world-class runner. Every day working spring, fall, winter, summer. Blowing up like we supposed to. Got those cause we go through shows and promotion. And now we don't know us. But the fame and fortune might pass. What's more